Hello, y'all. I am just finishing setting up TikTok and everything. Hold on. There we go. Let me just. Oh. And there we go. Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? I'm just setting up the TikTok, the Instagram, all of the things. I hope everybody is doing well. Welcome to the weekly healing circle. Let me just get the live going. There we go. Okay. There we go. And then we're fully live. Hello, y'all. We are live on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. We're live everywhere. Hello, Sierra. How are you? We have quite a bit to talk about. We're definitely coming out of this beautiful, beautiful moon. We're still in Libra, okay? The energy is still very much in Libra. And so there's a lot of, I feel like there's been a huge focus on balance and Luna. She's literally like coming from my monstera plant right now. I'm about to throw something over there. Luna! Do not make me throw something at you. Leave the monstera alone. Oh, I swear, she just be coming for the plants, y'all. She be coming for the plants. I hope. Look, coño. Luna! Seriously? This be my cat. She in Aries. This is why she doing this. Yo, she is dead ass coming for the monstera plant. Luna! Coño! Okay, now she's distracted. Anyway, the random shit that happens at the healing circle. Anyway, so we have quite a bit to talk about today because the energy, we're still in this very like balance focused, justice focused energy. It's super, super like just in alignment that even like the everything that's happening with the trial for George Floyd's murderers, you know, trial started today. So it's just like everything has been in this like Libra, like fully Libra energy, not just necessarily like the partnership and the marriage and stuff, but literally like the justice energy has been coming out really, really hard. So it's just been pretty intense. I feel like the energy and the vibe has been really, really intense. So we're going to start with the astrology for the week. We're not going to do a meditation today because if you guys were at the workshop yesterday, we did a pretty deep meditation and I want to give you guys like a little break. We did a higher self meditation yesterday. For those who are Patreon members or channel members, you have access to that. If you're at the top tier, you have access to the replay for those if you want to go ahead and access that meditation. But it was a really, really powerful workshop. I think everybody was like definitely in the same zone. And it was so funny how it reflected on the theme for the next month's workshop, which is going to be on finances and like root chakra healing. That's going to be one of the focuses. And it's interesting because a lot of the readings that I had today were heavily about root chakra healing, root chakra focusing, like making sure that our root chakra is balanced. So it's interesting how we almost kind of like did a little 360 from the year's energy, because the year started off us being a little bit more grounded, and now it's kind of like on its head. Like the energy is a little bit on its head, and I'm not really surprised, because if you look at the chart right now, we have the sun in Aries, the moon is in Libra, Mercury is in Pisces, Venus is in Aries, Mars is in Gemini, Jupiter and Saturn is in Aquarius, Uranus is in Taurus, Neptune is in Pisces, and Pluto is in Capricorn. Okay, so we have like almost everything in air. There's so much air in the chart that it definitely feels very air-like. I feel like a lot of people are moving from a place of like communication and a place of like, you know, trying to interact with others, try to communicate, trying to kind of just speak truth to power, or even just straight up say some nonsense. I feel like when it comes to communication right now, it's almost like some people are not reading between the lines, and some people are not reading it at all, and some people are just kind of a little bit like all over the place when it comes to communication in their mind. So today, this weekly healing circle, we're going to go in a little bit deeper with the downloads and the messages for this week, because I do feel like anytime that we're starting off the week and the moon is in Libra, that just gives me the dung 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 Scorpio moon is coming kind of vibe. And because Scorpio, naturally, the energy of Scorpio is to dig in deeper, to find the truth, to literally like go into the unconsciousness and get that revelation. I'm talking about the unconsciousness. We did a really amazing tarot spread yesterday for the workshop as well, and I felt like it was really, really revealing to everybody's energy. Somebody's having a party outside. Oh, it's a car. I'm like, oh damn. But it's one of those things that I feel like lately, that specific spread was so powerful, because it was targeting not only one part of your consciousness, as far as like your conscious mind, your higher conscious mind. No, it was like your unconscious mind. This is the energy. This is the energy of your subconscious mind. This is the energy of your higher conscious mind. It was just very much like we're looking at all of it. So it was a very, very powerful downloads that we were receiving, and a lot of it was focused on root chakra healing and healing work that needs to be done, as far as like what the revelations from our higher selves are telling us and communicating to us. So it's definitely I feel like a really powerful time to dig in a little bit deeper, especially for this week. You might find yourself intuitively guided to dive a little bit deeper, especially with the way the energy of the planets are. It's just like this, there's so much air. You have like the energy of Aquarian energy, and then having the Mars in Gemini, this is where people are getting all over the place. There are some people that are misusing this. Be very mindful with the Mars and Gemini energy, because I feel like some people are trying to start shit for no reason. And this is not, I'm not saying this is happening to me. I'm saying I'm seeing it happen, and I can see how the energy is there for that thing to happen, like straight up starting communication problems, or taking things much farther than they need to be, or like really getting angry at like the small, like really, really irrelevant, like small things that do not have necessarily to take, the whole entire time. Like it's just, there's this energy of overdoing it, overuse, it's almost an over abuse of like how the energy is being used for this week, especially with the Mars and Gemini, because you guys know Mars and Gemini energy can be very chaotic. You can't really trust too much on Mars and Gemini, because Mars is like and I've said this before, Mars is that planet of war. It's a very tactical planet. It's a very like, it's a warrior planet. It likes to focus on action, passion, and is very driven in that way. When it comes to how Mars moves. And so when you have this focus on Mars in Gemini's all over the place. They're like, if you look at the air element, air is all over. It's all over your space. Like right now, look at the room you're in. Every inch of your room, it's consumed by air. Okay. So air is literally everywhere. Now imagine trying to be tactful with the sign that is literally all over the place. Like it's over here, it's over here. So it's like you're trying to direct the war or your passion in a certain way, but you're getting like distracted by X, Y, Z, and B, because it's all over the place. So it's really important to not take things too personal, especially now that Venus is in Aries. Venus in Aries is very impatient, okay, especially when it comes to our loved ones. Venus and Aries be a little bit impatient, and they be a little bit like they kind of, it's like a get to the point situation. So very passionate at first, but then once like they get to a certain point where it's just like, okay, I'm burnt out, or my batteries have run out of energy to give to this kind of situation. So it's important to understand that while we have Mars in Gemini being all over the place, and Venus and Aries being very impatient and very like slightly critical, to the point where the critique that's happening from the Venus and Gemini is causing things to be very reactionary, very like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to deal with you. And then you leave. You just go do something else and just you straight up. There's an action behind it. There's not just like when Venus is in Pisces and, you know, it's a little flowing. It's a little bit like visually it's more aesthetic. It's more like there's a whole, you know, fairy tale attached to the Venus and Pisces. Venus and Aries is like, okay, are we doing something or what? Like it's very straightforward. So being with like having this Mars and Gemini energy, okay, especially because even if you look at the chart, Mercury and Mars are in a square. It's just there's just not a getting along energy right now, especially when it comes to the mind, the messages. There's some things that some people might be communicating, especially this week, or maybe you might find yourself in a conversation this week and you might not necessarily understand what's going on, the full picture. You might, especially when the moon is in Scorpio, you might want to dig a little bit deeper into certain people's intentions and why they're saying what they're saying and stuff like that, because it definitely feels like there is a misalignment with the mind and the action of the thing. Like some people are saying they're going to do something, but not actively doing the thing. So it creates a like, but you said this, so why did you tell me that you did this when you didn't actually do that? Like that doesn't make any sense. So there's definitely like a high energy vibe for lying and liars this week. So be very mindful of how you're taking certain people to their word. Don't over kind of like, don't expect people to hold or to keep your own energy. Like if you're on a certain, like even if you're on a certain vibration, or if you're in a certain, like ethically, you're just like, you know what, I'm just trying to talk to you. I'm just trying to have I'm just trying to communicate with you. I'm just trying to be honest or whatever. And don't expect everybody to have that same energy this week. Don't expect people to be on that same level where they're, you know, trying to, you know, be at their truth, like say the truth. And it's not even half of it is not going to be like it's not intentional. They're not trying to lie. But there is this energy of like, but you're not being honest. Like you're not trying to lie, but you're also not saying the truth. So what is it? Which is it? So right now it's really about understanding other people's behavior aside from yours, especially because all of the air energy is a collective energy. The air signs are about the collective. They're about interaction. They're about communion. They're about society. So the way we're using technology, the way that we're absorbing social media like a sponge, the way that we are taking in people's words, taking in the messages, the things that they're saying, the downloads that they're delivering, all of those things. It's a very, very powerful time to really dig in deeper to what is being said, how you really truly feel about that as well. Not you know, negating your intuition. Not, you know, if something feels off, then it feels off. Follow that. Don't just you know, pretend like just because you trusted someone in the past, or just because you have some sort of like, you know, like you understand each other, or you know each other, you trust that person, that they're not also going through their own thing, and kind of some of their wounds and experiences are also being translated through the downloads and their communication with you. So just be very mindful, because I feel like this is the week where miscommunication can happen. This is very like Mercury retrograde-ish energy. Like Mercury's not in retrograde. I'm not saying that it is, but because of the way that they're relating, the planets are relating right now, especially like Mercury and Mars, it's all over the place. So it can seem like there's certain things that are like, wait, but you said this before. Like, I don't understand why I have to look back and like revisit what you said. Like, I just don't understand. But it is that energy. This is energy of like this Mercury and retrograde kind of energy, especially because Mars is in Gemini. You can see like people coming out of the woodwork to contact you, people that, you know, maybe have had you in their mind but didn't actually feel the need to act upon the thought. Now you see, because Mars is in Gemini, that action, that, oh my God, you were in my mind, so I just texted you. Even if it's to be petty or to whatever it is, there is this energy of like, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to like, I'm just gonna say my piece. I'm gonna just talk to this person. It just feels super. It feels they're slightly deceitful, and in a way it's a way to close the loop a little bit, because if you have everybody else's mind very scattered, very all over the place, very like, oh, they're here, they're there, they're everywhere, and then you happen to be one of those thoughts, you happen to be one of those experiences, and then they reach out and they say, hey, I was just thinking about you today, I was thinking about that time or whatever. Don't just brush it off, or don't just think, oh, let me just ghost the person or whatever. Try to figure out what's actually going on, because people's intentions for you, and the fact that, like, especially if you already set protective, like, protection over you, and that's like someone that's not supposed to be breaking that kind of circle. But try to dig in a little bit deeper to find out what's going on. Don't just kind of like be like, okay, because people's intentions are definitely a little bit, they seem a little bit weird this week. They seem a little bit almost like inauthentic, or weirdly authentic to themselves. So definitely be mindful with how you're relating to the people, how, even with social media, 1000%, be very mindful with how you're taking in information, and how things are triggering you, because this is a big one. There's a lot of things happening with social media and the way that we're communicating digitally. There's a lot of people posting misinformation and posting things that are just not true. So dig in deeper to find the truth of the thing. Like, if you're curious about something, if you saw somebody said something, then do the research. Google is free, y'all. Google is free. Go ahead and do the research, look into it more, so you're comfortable with the information that you're receiving. So you don't feel like, something's telling me something's off about this, but I'm just going to ignore it. Because if you do that, you're just going to remember the part that triggered you. And then later on, you can make a mistake because of that. So make sure you're digging in deeper with the messages, with the downloads. So you're not lost in the sauce, confused. And then you get irritated later, like, wait, that's what it was, that's what it really was. So don't just take things at their word. Dive in deeper, look deeper. Don't take things at a surface level, especially if this week is a decision week for you, if you're trying to make certain decisions within your life, or if you're trying to head to a certain direction. Now that we're heading into April Aries energy hits different than March Aries energy, because April has still that halfway mark, has that energy of Taurus coming in. So there's the shift. There is a shift that happens. The energy levels are still up there, but the shift is definitely a lot different than Mars Aries energy. So be mindful of where you need to be grounded. And as far as like looking ahead, make sure that you are planning things for the rest of the year. I cannot stress this enough. And that could mean like you having doing a trip with your friends, or a road trip or something, where you're actually able to kind of use and work with the energy, all of this air energy, all of this social energy to your benefit. So this is a great time to plan some things for yourself. Also look where Aries is transiting, where the energy of the sun is transiting right now for you. Make sure you're looking at your transits, because that's going to tell you which house you should be working with right now. So for me, Aries is in my 9th house. So I already have like half of my trips booked for this year. And this is something that you should be working with, not only about your own education, which also falls into my 9th house energy, but if depending on where Aries is for you within your chart, you can then work with that specific house, that specific energy, so you can actually work with the energy properly and not just dismiss it and then get caught up in a certain loop. So make sure that you're actually diving in deeper into those areas, doing a little bit more research, planning what you need to plan. This is the beginning of the astrological year, so there is this kind of like new vibe, new energy, like, okay, 2021, like reset, like, okay, this is it now. So make sure you're not getting lost in the sauce, and you're trying to look ahead, you're trying to work on yourself, you're trying to work on your journey. This is very like wands energy. So it's all about picking the new direction, setting new goals for yourself, looking at what it is that you want to do, and then working with the energy of the planets to do so. And the energy of the planets are like, work collectively, come together, work with each other in order to take it to the next level, to level up, to be able to make yourself better and attain a higher, not only a higher vibration, but meeting yourself at the next step of your journey as well, because that's also very much Aries energy. So definitely working with the planets right now is the best that I can recommend, because y'all, it's definitely a lot. Like the way that the chart looks, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And I feel like it's really easy right now to get stuck in your head, stuck in your thoughts, and kind of take yourself away. But it's important right now to connect with each other. It's important right now to connect with technology, to use social media, because there are things that are going to be triggering your, like, it's almost like you see something, you read something, and you're like, oh wow, wait, I need to dive in deeper on that. What does that mean? Let me do some research. Let me see what's going on with this. Let me see why. I don't know. That piqued my curiosity. Dive in deeper socially. There's a lot that we can learn from each other. And this is something that happens on TikTok like all the time, because TikTok is such a place for learning. Honestly, it feels like TikTok is like the fastest education type of platform that on any other platform. Like, I don't like, Facebook is not like this. Instagram is rarely like this. Twitter has some elements, but not really. It's very, like, a slightly educational. Like TikTok, people be straight up debunking and giving you information you never learned on TikTok. So it's like straight up like school, but like in 60 seconds. It'd be crazy. But it's still important to dive into those topics and connect, because there's so many. It's crazy to me how much I've learned just from being on that app, but how much others also say the same thing. Is like, I've learned more on TikTok than the 4 years I took in college. Like, I see that comment all the time on there, and it's because we're all coming together to teach each other, to connect with each other, to learn, to grow. And that knowledge that you're getting helps you move forward, helps you have a clearer picture of what you want to do, because you have the knowledge to back the thing. You're not just kind of like doing your own thing and calling it a day. So yeah, so there's definitely a lot going on in the chart. If you feel a little bit all over the place this week, I highly recommend meditations, because when it comes to the air signs, it's also about connecting with your upper chakras. And I've said this to you guys before, because you already know. The Jupiter in Aquarius and the Saturn in Aquarius is still there, still present. It's important for us to meditate. It's important to us to connect with spirit, with your ancestors, with your guides, with your angels. The downloads, y'all tell me in the comments, the downloads have been absolutely crazy lately. Like, straight up, so clear, so vivid. Like, spirit has been giving some really crazy vivid downloads lately. I don't know if it's just me and some of the people that I know, but for some reason dreams have been straight clear. Like, everything has just been like, here's the download, here's a message, go do this, you need to do that, go over here, post this, like, it's just been straight clear. Like, it's just been really, really, really crazy. Thank you so much for the virtual hug. Woo. The way my tarot readings have been saying this, oh my god, no, but it's for real. Like, for real, it's been happening. It's been going down, and it's important for us to pay attention. Are you doing readings for the people who is viewing you? I'm gonna be pulling the cards right now, actually, but this is for the weekly forecast, so it's actually for everyone. It's for everyone. My dreams have been vivid with the full moon. It's definitely, y'all, it's been, even before the full moon, that last week, my dreams were just completely like, do this. For those who are Patreon members, you already know I kind of let you guys into like something that I'm working on, a big download that Spirit gave me. For the rest of y'all, listen, I'm gonna make a pretty big announcement very soon, probably within the next week, within this week or so, because me and some of my spiritual friends I got a pretty big download from Spirit, and we literally are pretty much wrapping up on it. We're going to be doing a national event, and it's going to be free. It's going to be really, really amazing. And I can't wait to share with y'all what it is, because it's going to be straight powerful. And I cannot stress it enough how much I cannot wait to share that with y'all, because it's just going to be really, really amazing. And yeah, it's just like, it goes with the energy perfectly. Like, it just goes with the society. It goes with like it goes with everything like perfectly. With the chart, it goes with everything perfectly. So I cannot wait to share that with y'all. But let's get into the cards because we have quite a bit to dive into this week. So what is the forecast for the collective? What do we need to know? You see, this is what I mean. The Knight of Wands. Y'all, I told you it was some Wands energy because it's the Aries energy. It's that fire energy that's coming through at the end of the day. This is why we're having this a little bit of this combative kind of conversation and narrative that's coming through. There's definitely a lot. And it's important to try to stay above it for this week. What do we need to know? They said we're gonna fall down. Okay, we have a lot of things that just fell down. Hold on, let me go ahead and reach for that. Oh, there we go. Okay, all right. Sorry, Instagram. Okay, we just got 2 more cards. Let me pull 2 more. What do we need to know for the collective? What do we need to know for the collective for this week? Okay. Y'all. Okay. This goes hand in hand with the workshop yesterday, and I'm just laughing. Okay, so the first thing that we got, let me just get the first row. The first thing that we got for this week, weekly forecast, we have the Knight of Wands, the 9 of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles for this week. Okay, there's more cards, but I'm just letting you know the first parts, okay? Then we have the 10 of Wands, the Fool, and the 5 of Swords. The 10 of Wands, the Fool, and the 5 of Swords. And then our outcome is the 9 of Swords. I want you guys to pay attention to the swords because this is what, and it just fell. Because this is what I mean. Yeah, that card was lost. The 9 of Swords was lost. But this is what I mean about all of the communication issues, the triggering, the impact issues, especially what was happening with the planets, the friction, all of that is going down this week. There is a little bit of chaos, like within all of the good things that we're working on. There's a little bit of chaos that like kind of just comes out of nowhere, which is interesting. So we have this Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups, Ace of Pentacles energy. This week starts off a new vibe. And this is what I mean. This Ace of Pentacles right here is what I mean about the April Aries like season is different than March Aries season. Because there's this focus on that Taurus energy that's creeping in. And the Taurus energy is all about the earth. It's all about finances, valuables, pleasure, enjoyment, food, having a good time, okay? Living your best life. That's what Taurus be about. Taurus is about using Venus energy and just sitting in Venus's energy. Like, I'm going to enjoy every second of this. I'm just chilling. I'm having a grand old time. And what does that mean? Okay. What does that mean with this Ace of Pentacles? This week, we start off setting some pretty bold intentions for ourselves for the future, especially when it comes to getting grounded. Okay. Especially to our happiness, which I just said, to our happiness, to the things that we want for ourselves, to the things that we want to see, we want to feel for this year. We're trying to set the tone for this year. We're trying to like really, it's almost like romanticizing it in a way as far as like what's coming ahead, what we're doing, what we're working on. There's this like sense of wanting to feel good, wanting to do something that's more liberating as well, and kind of just like, hey, this is my life. I want to live it. I want to live my life. I'm in this kind of zone where I want to live my life. So then Abby, what's going on with this? Well, the problem right now, that in order to get in that mindset, okay, and this is when that Moon in Scorpio that's coming up, okay, that is literally coming up, comes in, and then it asks you the question, okay, so how are you going to make room for this? How are you going to make room for this ace? I understand that you want to manifest something. I understand that you want to have a new experience, a new reality, new money, new finances coming in. I understand. We get it. We co-sign. But then what are you going to do about it? Because you've been in this kind of like struggle mentality, in this kind of lacking mentality. There is a vibration that has been had, especially with 2020, that's been carried over. There's a lot of people that have been in a state of lack, and it's because the way that the world was set up with, you know, everything with the pandemic, it put people in a place of lacking. People were like, oh my god, they were worrying, fear, all of those energies are still very much internally developing within people, and it's something that they're going to have to deeply go back in and heal. Because if you look back at 2020's energy, there was a lot of fear involved, especially for the beginning part of it. So a lot of fear involved, the whole mutations. It's like every month in 2020 was another whole situation. And it really highlighted us being afraid of ourselves, because we didn't know how we would affect ourselves, how we would end up harming each other, how we would bring pain or bring just disease to each other. It was just like this state of like, I don't want to be around y'all. I can't be around y'all for my personal safety. You know what I mean? That's like really what the energy was. And so it was a struggle to do that, because I don't know if some of y'all know this, but we love being around each other. This is why clubs exist, okay? This is why events exist. This is why we like have different like venues and things to do. We have like amusement parks. We have like beaches that anybody is open to. It's not just like private beaches for one person. It's like, hey, go to the beach, spend time here, go to the arcade. Like we make and create events to celebrate, to enjoy with each other. So we have all of this collective mentality. In a lot of the ways we're very about that collective space. Like even think about it when it comes to like your friends. Like let's say you want to go out dancing. I know many people, especially because y'all, I'm from New York in that extent. I know many people. Listen, if me and my friends will go out to like the club, we're going out dancing, right? And we get to the club and it's like halfway empty and nobody's really dancing and stuff, then it's whack. It's automatically whack, and it automatically is not fun. Why? Because there's nobody's there having a good time, keeping the vibe. It's everybody is maintaining that vibe. I'm pretty sure that y'all can relate to this to some capacity. There is this energy of maintaining the vibe, maintaining the energy, us collectively coming together and all having a good time. There's a reason why they say there's strength in numbers, because once something, it has like a multitude of a thing, it makes it funner. It makes it a better experience because you're enjoying yourself with the collective. That was taken away from us last year. Okay. That energy was taken away from us last year. And I knew, looking at the chart for 2021, I was like, this is not really going to work for 2021 as far as the collective energy goes. I mean, we're probably going to do more, online and technology based stuff, but this is definitely not going to work for 2021, because Aquarian energy is all about society, is all about the collective, is all about how we interact, is all about, how we spend time together, how we communicate, how we heal ourselves, how we talk to ourselves. It's all about the social interaction. Is all about society. It's all about us. And so when you look at how it left us, okay, we definitely, and I'm not saying that everybody is necessarily going through this, but I feel like collectively, we definitely have a collective trauma when it comes to what happened last year. We are a little bit traumatized as far as like how to connect with each other, how to work together, how to be around each other. When someone is a little bit too close, you're just like, back the hell up. Y'all, especially in New York City, y'all listen. But there is this energy of like, that the fear is still there. Granted, the disease is still there, but the fear is still there. There's a lot of different ways that we have try to cope with it, but it created a lot of different things, because the lack of connection with having that human interaction created a lot of pain for some people, especially my air signs and especially my fire signs, especially those two. Earth signs and water signs, y'all were doing really, really fine with the whole pandemic. Personally speaking, I feel like most of y'all were fine. But a lot of the air sign placements and the fire placements, you guys were actually having a really hard time coping with it, especially the earth signs, the air signs, because you guys love being a part of something. It's not just, you want to be on your own in an island. That sounds very miserable to you guys. That's not how you necessarily like to live your life. Like I could see an air sign, air and earth sign doing that, but I can't see an air sign doing it, because you guys love just connecting with each other. And so I saw how much trauma was going on, and this is why you saw a lot of people like the depression and having depression, having anxiety, having like different things that all of those were crown chakra issues, by the way. All of those were upper chakra issues. All of that, which is ruled by Aquarian energy when the crown chakra is blocked. So it tells you how much people were hurt by their lack of having their presence within other people. And so there was a little bit of that struggle energy. And that I do feel like that's still something that needs to be healed collectively. Like we still need to collectively heal and understand that we need to heal. And one of the things I really liked that New York City did last year was that they had like a free line for therapy that you can call. Like their therapists were like donating their time, I believe it was, or like they were offering like for free sessions and stuff for people who were having a really hard time with the pandemic. Like I really like that New York City did that, because I know for a fact that New York City, the city that's known to never sleep, was having a really hard time with the pandemic itself. And just the energy, the vibe, it was just so, I remember walking around New York City for one of my friend's birthday in March last year, and it was just like, it was like a ghost town. It was so weird. It was such a weird experience. It was so heavy. It was so like it felt like I was in one of those movies when they're talking about like the end of the world, zombies coming out in New York City or something. That's what it really felt like. And it just I felt the pain of the people walking around, because it was just so heavy. It was just so heavy. And I know that everybody's like dying to kind of come back out and experience the city, experience other places, fly somewhere, do something different. And so now is the time to really address how you're going to do that. How are you going to take yourself out and put yourself in a new experience, especially as far as setting intention for your happiness and how you want to progress? Because the whole page, listen, the Knight of Wands is always about forward movement. Okay, it's always about like once something was initiated, actually taking the next step. So let's say you just booked the flight last week, or you booked the flight 2 weeks ago. What is the next step? Did you book the location you're staying at? Did you book your activities? What are you going to be doing? How are you going to be safe? All that kind of stuff. There's this kind of need of like, listen, I saved some coin, or I'm going to put my money on my fan. I just want to have some fun. I want to feel good. I want to make sure that I am like living my life and interacting, or I'm taking a trip with like my friends or my sister or whatever. And I want to make sure I'm having a good time. I want to make sure that I'm enjoying my life. I don't want to live in fear. I don't want to sit in this energy. It just hasn't been productive. It has created so much chaos, okay, with Five of Swords and the Ten of Wands, so much chaos within ourselves, within our groups, within the collective. And so now's the time that we look at this Fool energy, okay, thinking about, okay, removing the Nine of Swords energy, because again, that card fell. That doesn't make it any less relevant. The Nine of Swords energy is telling you to address your fear this week, address your mind. And this is what I mean, why I called this live, dig in deeper. You need to dive in a little bit deeper into why you're feeling what you're feeling and what to do about it. Be productive about what you're feeling. If you're planning something and you feel anxious about taking the plane or getting on the plane or whatnot, look up the precautions of what you can do to protect yourself, or look at other ways that you can get there or whatnot, or make it so you're okay with the itinerary. You're okay with the game plan. You're okay with what was chosen to do. Make it so you're not like anxious or irritated or like triggered, because you're gonna find yourself being triggered by certain things, and if you don't actually do anything about them, you're just going to feel that frustration. You're going to feel that that tension in your body, that tension in your spirit, where you're just like, oh, I feel down. And then you're just going to see it as, oh, I'm depressed. But you're not going to be proactive about it. And the thing about it is you have to be proactive about it. If you want to move forward, if you want to have a new experience, if you want to see this as, hey, new year, who this? Okay, new year, who this? New year, what are we doing? New year, I'm not doing the struggle thing no more. I can't do it. I'm leaving that in the past. I'm going to heal this. I'm going to allow myself to transform from last year. I'm going to allow myself to heal from last year. I'm going to allow myself to start living my life again from last year, because last year was a whole different thing. And then take it as a forward step, like you're taking a step forward. Don't let it be an action, like an anxiety kind of step, like, oh my God, I'm stepping forward, but I'm scared, I don't know what this means, I don't. No, first of all, we've talked about protection enough on this channel to know that you guys have the ability to ask for that protection at any point in time. You can easily work with the angels and say, hey, can you please protect me today? Hey, Archangel Michael, can you please make sure I'm protected today? Please keep me safe. Please have any evil or any person's negative intentions be deflected away from me, for not only my highest and greatest good for that, but that person's as well. And just literally sending that energy, creating that practice of protection where you feel protected. You can walk around the world knowing that you're protected because you asked for that protection to be present in your life, instead of living in fear and just being like, oh my God, I don't know, but what was happening. Make yourself know. Okay, find out the details, dive in deeper. Let's say you want to go to a concert. Okay, let's say you want to go to a concert in, like, I don't know, June, July, somewhere. Okay, and you're like, yeah, but some people might not take the vaccine, or they might not, I don't know, might not wear masks, or some people, especially with everything that happened in Miami, y'all would know by now that people kind of do whatever they want at this point. So you do have this energy of, like, people would go out and who are sick and do it just because they're tired of being home. That is a thing. And don't think that that's not a thing, because it definitely 1000% is. However, you still have to do the work, and by doing the work, do the research, look up, call up that venue and be like, hey, what is your policy for July on this time, because I want to go to the concert, but I don't know what safety procedures you're going to have in place, because I want to make sure I'm safe, and I'm not trying to deal with somebody breathing down my neck that's over here coughing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all about you being proactive, knowing. Okay, when you're more comfortable. You don't have that anxiety because you already did the work. You did the research, okay? Bottom of the deck, y'all. I'm literally laughing. We have the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Nine of Wands, okay? The Nine of Wands, the card of trauma. The card of trauma. And this is what I'm saying. I feel like there's a lot of underlining as we start opening up, and as everybody in all the states do this whole opening up, thing that they're doing. Be very mindful. Make yourself comfortable, because if you don't, you're going to go outside, you're going to go to a restaurant, whatever, and it might be a little bit packed, and you're going to be like, you could literally have a whole panic attack. You could put yourself in that situation just because you didn't make yourself comfortable from the get-go. This year requires that you react to your soul differently, to your spirit differently, to your body differently, to your experience differently than you had in past years. You should have learned that in 2020. Take what you've learned from 2020, apply it to this year. Be smarter, but you could still have fun just by using what you know. Okay, that doesn't mean like, go around licking everybody's face. It just means be smart. Be smart. The energy of Aquarius highly highlights detachment. Detachment is one of those areas where I feel like a lot of people, it can be definitely used in a toxic way. Some people can detach, especially some Aquariuses. I know they can detach from emotion to the point that they can't really see what they're supposed to be seeing. But when it comes to the energy of detachment and detaching in a healthy way, it's all about understanding that distance doesn't necessarily separate you or your experience with who you're connecting to. You can connect in a distant way. We're doing it right now, y'all. Okay, I'm not in your room. I'm not over there. I'm over here. We're connecting from a distance. Okay, this is a way that detachment can be used in order to still maintain that connection with other people. So there's different ways to connect to each other. If you have a different standard of distance that you need to have from others right now, then honor that until you feel more comfortable and until you feel safe, until you feel like, you know what, you're good, like you're all right. But don't let 2020 and the energy of 2020 cripple you, because it's going to create a lot of anxiety mentally for you. And because the energy right now is all mental, y'all, you can just get up, like you can get stuck in your head, and then it's just going to turn into like depression and not wanting to be around anyone, and it's just going to feel very, very like dark and broody and heavy. So make sure you guys are actively looking for ways to detach in a healthy way, to protect yourselves, to dig in a little bit deeper, be smarter, okay, with what you're doing, with your activities, all of that kind of stuff. Don't just do something to do whatever, like actually look a little bit deeper, make sure that you're safe and protected, and make sure that you're working with spirit to maintain your protection as well. Archangel Michael, what does the collective need to know for this week? What does the collective need to know? Yo, Archangel Michael be killing me. Be killing me with these. Listen. The first one, y'all. The first one. Positive thoughts create positive results. From Archangel Michael. Positive thoughts create positive results. And the prayer goes, divine love and wisdom, I call upon you now. I know that my mind and emotions are eternally and continuously connected to you. I ask my higher self to be aware and conscious of the love and light that is within every person and situation. Okay. Positive thoughts. And this is what I mean about the mind. Okay. About the messiness. If you think that this week everybody is just, you know, some people are just saying things to hurt you, or you're just taking everything too personal, instead of like, again, digging in deeper and saying, okay, well, why did you say that? That was kind of off, or that wasn't really like you. Why did you say that? Because that was a little bit weird. That was outside of your character or who I know you to be. What's going on with you? Do you want to talk? Do you want to, like, instead of actually digging in deeper and trying to not take things on a personal way and being like, oh my God, I'm already attacked. No. Dig in a little bit deeper before you take something personally, especially with Mercury being a Pisces. Listen, Mercury and Pisces, it's just a little bit too sensitive verbally. You can't be too harsh at this time. Even with Venus is an Aries and it's just straight up like savagery with the way that we're giving the love sometimes. Mercury and Pisces still requires a certain softness, a certain like touch to it. So you can't just straight up be out here getting upset or trying to be upset about certain things. Like if you find yourself being triggered, react to that trigger. Don't just be like, oh, that hurt, and you're just sitting on that hurt. Like, okay, now you have something to heal later, because you're not being proactive. Best way to work with Aries energy is to be proactive. I 100% can co-sign this. If you want to literally do the best you can and work with Aries energy the best, be proactive. Use the cardinal energy. Cardinal energy is all about forward movement. It's all about doing something about what you know. Okay. This is something that happened to me last week. One thing that I found out about one of the downloads that Spirit gave me that I'm going to be sharing with y'all soon, I promise. But one of the things that happened to me last week that I literally laughed at was that once I had the download and I was doing something about it, I was like recruiting the troops, and I was like, y'all, we need to do something about this. I'm about to do this and that. And I literally went into work and went ahead and did the whole, like, I pretty much did almost every single thing. I started to realize that everybody that got the download wasn't being proactive about the download. And that's why Spirit came to me and said, here's the download. And then my cardinal energy was triggered. I was like, oh, okay, this is what needs to be done. Cool. Boom, 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 writing things down. The thing. Hey, do you want to help out with this? Hey, do you, like, I was reaching out like, hey, listen, Spirit gave me this download. Would you want to do it? Would you want to, like, I was just straight went to work. Like, my Capricorn energy was straight up triggered and I went to work. It's about being proactive. If I was at like any other sign, I would have sat on it longer. I would have literally sat on it longer. Sometimes it takes you working with the cardinal energy, the fire, okay, that comes with being a cardinal sign, and just saying, what needs to be done? Let's go do it. It's kind of like when people talk about, oh, this is a problem, or oh, and this happens to me all the time when I talk to other people and they're like complaining about certain things, and they're like, oh no, but my girlfriend said this and I don't know, it's kind of bothering me. And I'm like, well, did you tell her? Did you tell her that it's bothering you? Like, be proactive. It's all about using something, doing something about your circumstance. Like, as an astrologer, I understand why certain signs have a hard time doing the energy. Okay, not everybody's a cardinal sign, and not everybody has a lot of cardinal energy within their chart to navigate through. Okay, it's not always there. Some people have a lot of mutable energy. Some people like to go with the flow with that energy. Some people have a lot of fixed sign energy and they can be stubborn as hell, and it takes them like 10 years to do one thing. Okay, it's their energy. They have to work with the best with it. But at the end of the day, this is why the cardinal signs are really, really important, because they're proactive. They do something about the issue. And what the second you say, okay, there needs to be, and this is why certain businesses and stuff start off out of the blue, because there's people out there that recognize and have that like cardinal energy where they recognize, oh, you know what would be cool if there was a business that did this. You know how many times I've been in conversations with people that are like, oh, I wish this existed, or I wish that was a thing, or I wish, and I'm like, okay, then why don't you make it? You have the idea. You got the download. What's the problem? Go find an investor, go do, what is the problem? You go do it. Go do the thing. You want to see the change. You want to make the change in the world. Go do it. Do it. Do the thing. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. You have to apply yourself. If you do not apply yourself, especially during a cardinal season, all of the cardinal seasons are very, very important seasons. Okay. That's Aries season, Cancer season, Libra season, Capricorn season. All of those seasons are very, very important seasons, because you see the shift in the vibe in the rest of the 3 months that come right after that. You see the shift in the vibe. You see the shift in any type of frustration, any type of things that come up from that energy, from the triggers. Aries starts off not only the analyzation of the journey, but the finances, how it's going to be done, how it's going to benefit Aries. Then it goes into Gemini, what it's going to learn, how it's going to interact and communicate. And then boom, Cancer season comes. It's all about emotions now. It's all about the emotions. And so if you're not doing something about those things, if you're not being proactive with your feelings, being like, if you're mad, if you're upset, if you're angry at someone, tell them. Why are you going to sit with it for a whole year or a whole like why? How is that being proactive? Literally, go text the person and be like, yo, remember that time we went out to dinner? You done pissed me off with what you said. And I didn't tell you because I didn't want to start nothing, but I realized that I need to let this go. And here, I'm letting it go. That pissed me off that you said that. Just clear the air. Just do something about it. Do something, because if you don't do anything, it just sits in your energy and it becomes a blockage to your energy, and then your solar plexus gets blocked, and guess what? Then you're not making any moves. Then you're not moving anywhere. And this goes hand in hand with this. Positive thoughts create positive results. If you see your circumstance and you're looking at your situation and you're like, okay, this is bothering me, let me reach out. Let me reach out and see if we can squash this. Okay, with the best intention. Let me just see if we can talk this out. Let me see if I can, get to the point with this. Then you're actually getting somewhere. You're actually reaching that vibration, that positivity, instead of sitting on it and being harsher with your own self and harsher with your energy and thinking that someone is thinking something bad of you or something, or has negative intentions of you, or their opinion of you is less than, just because it's all in your head and you haven't done anything about it. The next one, forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. And this is 100% a fact, especially when it comes to 2020's energy. None of us did nothing wrong, y'all. First of all, except for, those who were in power at the time. At the time, those people did something wrong, okay? Those who shall not be named. But we didn't do anything wrong. They did something wrong. They did not communicate properly. They did not talk about the impact of how bad it can get if we didn't follow X, Y, Z, and B. They didn't, even with the whole mask thing, that was something that pissed me off since the beginning. I was like, okay, so this thing moves through the air, but we're not wearing masks. Like, And it was like, no, because N95s are just for doctors. And I'm like, okay, but there's other types of masks that we could be wearing. And literally like a week later, you can wear masks now. I'm like, bruh, especially me as an essential worker. I'm like, bro, y'all had me and everybody else in here exposed to all of this nonsense just because you guys thought everybody was going to run out and get N95 masks, which granted, some people did, because some people were doing that. But not everybody did that. Some people were literally making their own masks and stuff like that. And it was just about making sure everybody was safe. Like, I feel like the intention of it was, there was something wrong there. So when it comes to the prayer, I ask that you help me let go of self-blame and forgive myself. Please guide me in releasing any toxic anger or fear towards others. I'm gonna repeat that for y'all. Please guide me in releasing any toxic anger and fear towards others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for allowing me to feel centered and at peace. Y'all, I'm telling you that the archangels be trolling. And you guys know, if you've been here for a long time in the lives, the archangels be trolling with this because they be reading y'all to the filth sometimes. I said what I said, but 100% facts. 100%. We did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong. We are not the ones in charge in order to like make and create these type of changes. We didn't have that ability or power. At the end of the day, we were looking to those we voted and elected to lead, and they didn't do that. Other countries were good and cute and fine. Well, some were, but like a lot of times you saw the flaws in the government, and this is what that Jupiter and Capricorn energy highlighted. It expanded the look and that observation into the government, and it was like all eyes were on them. Like, okay, but what are you guys doing? How are you guys helping us? How are we going to be okay? These are the issues that came up. There was a whole thing about rent and like evictions happening, all the issues that came up within 2020, the things that the government had to react to. It's like, we're looking at y'all. What are y'all doing? Y'all take our money all the time. What are y'all doing with it? How are you now reacting to this pandemic? It wasn't our fault, but they had a job, and some of them definitely failed at it. Some of them definitely failed at it. Archangel Raphael, what do we need to know for the collective for this week? Okay, y'all. Okay. First of all, what did I say about the archangels be trolling? What? I literally said digging deeper, right? I just want to make sure y'all all know I said digging deeper, right? Here comes Archangel Raphael. Do more research. And I'm going to read y'all the prayer. Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for clearly and gently leading me to the information that I need to know for my well-being. Please guide me and give me the courage to be assertive as I take charge of my healthcare needs. Y'all, if the archangels aren't trolling, I do not know. I don't know. This is just hilarious. Like, listen. Listen. Okay. The next one is inner authority. Okay. Inner authority, y'all. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for supporting me as I take back my power and listen to my intuition, desires, and feelings. Intuition, desires, and feelings. Because Taurus season is coming. Once you hit April, the vibe changes. Things start getting a little bit more grounded, and Venus energy starts being a focus, okay? It starts being highlighted. You don't think that we're just not going to have that energy lingering through the air. Yeah, it's going to be Aries season, but you're still going to have this like springtime, flowers are blooming. It's Taurus energy, that energy of like the bloom, the like everything starts growing during Aries season. And then when it's Taurus season, you see the beauty that had bloomed from all the action, okay? All of the action that the trees, the plants were taking. They were slowly making moves, getting bigger, blooming out into the world, okay? This literally, y'all, the archangels are trolling today. The next one is divine intervention. Divine intervention. And the prayer goes, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for being with, and you can, this parentheses, name the person in need, and for helping with describe the situation that's in parentheses. I have faith in divine intervention and I fully accept your guidance now. Okay. This week, I feel like there's going to be that extension of the arm where you're actively, again, it's about community. You might be praying for someone. You might be sending someone like well wishes. You might literally feel for someone and you're just like, oh my God, listen, archangels, please be with this person. Please go be with this person. I know this definitely happened to me over the weekend. There was a story in the news that happened, that they were talking about this girl got like slashed in the face in like Manhattan. She was in the shop and he just like, some dude just came in and like slashed her nose off. Like it was crazy. And I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I was like, Archangel Michael, can you please make sure this girl is safe? Because that kind of like, there's just been so much. I feel like 2020, you're going to see a little bit of a rise in things, especially against women, like harm and stuff. Like, I don't want to like breathe in life into it, but I just been sensing it. And the way that people have been moving has been telling me that. There's also a lot of people, you have to understand, within 2020, it was the year of like no mass shootings and nothing crazy happening and nobody, you know. And so I personally feel like you're going to see some things happening that are not necessarily nice or good to talk about and are just going to be a little bit chaotic. And I don't want there to be harm towards women, but I do feel like there are people that have been brewing and simmering within their own selves. And I feel like for a lot of it, we need this divine intervention. You need to work with the angels and you need to make sure that you're working with spirit in order to use the energy to the best of your ability to make sure that you are protected. Okay. We're highlighted in Aquarian energy. This is all about each other. Not everybody has the same intention. Okay. Not everybody is in like a positive state of mind, a positive like viewpoint, thinking positive. It's just not a thing. Like not everybody's in that vibration. Some people are moving from a lower vibration. Some people are moving from a like a sense of like anger, being alone, being just like, or even like brewing from things that happened in the past, or like it could have been like the smallest thing people could have been holding in their hearts. And it's hard. I feel like there are things that are going to happen this year that are going to be very, very like straight up shameful that people are going to do and commit. And I pray for those people that need to be protected to be protected. And I think we need to make sure our protection game is on and we have that divine intervention to stop some of these, you know, people try to take our peace. Okay. So please make sure that you are actively doing protection work this year. I'm not playing with y'all. I talk about it all the time. We need to make sure our protection game is on. The easiest way to do protection work, just call on Archangel Michael every day. Archangel Michael, can you please make sure I am protected today? Please make sure that you keep any person with negative intentions away from me. Please make sure that I am attracting blessings and luck and opportunity throughout the whole entire day. Thank you for protecting me. I honored you. And I will see you tomorrow for the next prayer when I give you consent for the next day. You guys need to be on point with your angelic communication. Period. I said what I said. I said what I said. Okay. Listen. Okay. What do we need to know collectively for this week? What do we need to know collectively for this week? Collective energy. By the way, all of the cards that I'm using are going to be, I already put them in the description box because I know you guys ask me a lot. So they're already there if you want to check them out. So the first one we have is manifestation. Manifestation. Oh, sorry, I clicked something, y'all, on YouTube. Oh, there's a lot of comments. I'm gonna have to read it. Oh, thank you for this super chat. Oh, sweet. All I've been receiving these messages from my guides. You're amazing. Much love. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. And I love the Jack and Sally because I love Nightmare Before Christmas. You already know. Manifestation. Ace of Pentacles. The energy is there for us to manifest. First of all, I just literally finished telling y'all, about how to use the cardinal energy and doing something about the things that you're trying to manifest. The Ace of Pentacles requires being proactive. It requires you, okay, you're planting a seed, think about it. I just need you to think about it. Okay, you just got a plant, or not even, you didn't get a plant. You got a pot, you got some, you know, the ground, and you went to Home Depot. I don't know where you went. Okay, you got some seeds, whether you got it from a vegetable or whatever, and you just went and, you know, you put it in the pot, but you never watered it. When is it going to grow? When is it going to grow? What are you doing about it? How are you watering your manifestation? How are you actively co-manifesting? Because manifestation is not only about you not like you expecting like, oh my God, I asked for this, or I set intention for this. Like, it's just gonna happen. I'm just not gonna do anything and it's just gonna appear. That's not how it works, y'all. That's literally not how it works. I'm gonna tell y'all a story, especially this relates to my TikTok fam, because the story is freaking crazy. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit of a story on something that happened to me. Okay, literally this past weekend. I had a TikTok video sitting on my drafts from when I went to go see my sister earlier in the month. Okay, when I went to the Botanica St. Elias, right? And I forgot, I was looking through my drafts. I'm like, oh, which one should I post? And I know I have a bunch of drafts in here. Let me see what I should post. And I'm like, oh, the whole entire TikTok is done. Why have I not posted it? So I go ahead and I posted TikTok, and I was just sharing like some of my favorite botanicas in, you know, in New York City. And that shit went viral. Okay. My TikTok fam can confirm this shit. That shit went viral, right? And I woke up the next morning and it had a bunch of thousands of views. And I'm just like, oh my God. And the comments were like, oh my God, thank you. I'm going to go see them. Or I live 2 blocks away. I'm going to go check them out, all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, I need to call the Botanica to let them know that that shit went viral. So I went ahead and I called them, and I also sent them the video through DM because they have an Instagram. And I was like, hey, so I made a TikTok. I made a TikTok and it went viral, and you guys might have a higher, you know, some more population, like a higher population of people coming through to visit y'all. And so they were like, oh, okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then literally like hours went by because I had DM'd the Botanica, and I sent the video, and the owner hits me up. He leaves me a message and he's like, oh my God, I love the video. Can we work together? Can we do a collect? Can we do something together? And I just looked at Babe because we were at dinner, and I just looked at her and I was like, earlier this year in January, one of my intentions during Capricorn season was to work more. Like I was trying to work with my Venus and Aquarius energy. Venus and Aquarius energy requires me to work with you guys, to work with other people, to collab with those within the society and stuff like that. So I was like, I think I want to do more sponsorships. I think I want to work more with different businesses and stuff. Like I set intention for a whole bunch of stuff. And then I'm like in March, and I'm like, all I had to do was post that TikTok. And that shit, this is not the first time that happened to me. The whole thing with the like Inu water bottle, again, my TikTok family knows. That shit went viral. That shit has over a 250,000 views on TikTok. And like the company like was super sweet, and like they gave me a discount code for the people. And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy how I had something sitting in my drafts. Okay, it was just sitting in my drafts, and all I had to do was post it to create this, to be proactive with my manifestation. If I want to see the change in something, if I want to see, oh, this is my intention, I want to do this, what are you doing about it? How are you being proactive in that space? I didn't know that I was going to be collabing and stuff from that video. I was just trying to share information with the public. I always post intuitively. Any post you ever see from me on TikTok, on YouTube, on anywhere, okay, on Instagram, I always post intuitively. I always say, okay, you know what? Maybe I should share this with the people. Or I'll be doing a spell or working on something, and I'll be like, oh, you know what? I think the people might be interested in this. Let me share it with them. And then the people receive it in a big way, and it turns into this like whole entire thing. So it's just about being proactive. sharing the knowledge, sharing with others. Even like the whole wedding date astrology video that I posted on TikTok and on Instagram, that shit went viral. Everybody was DMing me like, can you do this for me? Because I don't want to do it. Like, I don't know how to do all this stuff. And I was like, I had to make it a service. You guys literally asked me to make it a service on my website. So I can help you navigate that. Like, it's so crazy to me how just me saying, you know what, I want to do more projects in my business. I want to work with like the community more. Like setting intention for that in January, how now everything is unfolding from me being proactive. So I need y'all this week. I need y'all to sit on the intentions. Okay. The intentions that you're trying to actively manifest. The intentions that you're actively trying to manifest. I need you to sit in that. And I need you to see how you can assist yourself in bringing that to fruition. I need you to sit with that. Okay. Not just, oh, I set intention for this, I'm going to sit here. How are you being proactive? That's how you navigate all of this fire energy. Because the fire is all about being proactive. You got to be proactive. Even for Leos, okay? For them, their self-care practice and their self-love practice and their act of just getting dressed is about them being proactive with their own self-love practice. So it's just about doing the thing. You know what you want to do. You want to look good? Get dressed. It's just about being proactive. You want something? How can you help yourself? Okay. Think about it like if you're going to a restaurant or a fast food chain or whatever, they're like, how can I help you? How can you help yourself? How can you help you get it done? Because one of the things that you guys need to understand is that you are one of the sources of your own manifestation. You can allow yourself to do larger things and envision larger things for your life, for yourself, like tenfold. If you are proactive with it, you have to make the moves. You can't just think that you sitting in your house, sitting in the same space, doing the exact same thing over and over again is going to create change. Okay. Wasn't it Einstein who said doing the same thing over and over again is insanity, and expecting change is insanity because you're doing the same thing. Like, do something different. Okay. Open yourself up to the possibilities. Do something about what you want. The next one is retreat. And this is what I was talking about earlier about detachment, because there's some of you guys that still need to process how we are bringing back that connection, how we're mending that connection with each other. For some of y'all still might want to keep it digital. Y'all might want to keep it 6 feet. Okay. And y'all still, are going to want to have that experience. For others, y'all ready to like go twerk up in the club and do the thing. Like, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. Just be safe. Be safe. Have that sense of safety for yourself, because if you're, you don't want to have a whole breakdown just because you're scared. Like that trigger inside of you, like just it switches because you're scared. The next one is children. And I feel like, listen, y'all, for some reason, there's been a lot of like baby news and children news, and like even just like working with children right now. Pay attention to the downloads that kids are giving you as well, because Mars is in Gemini. Gemini is it's known as the children of the zodiac. So they do highlight children. Pay attention if you're around a child, if you have like a daughter or son, pay attention to what they're saying this week. There's some downloads that you're going to be getting from children. And the reason being is because they have a really high sensitivity when it comes to their own intuition and their own chakras within their third eye and stuff. This is why when kids are younger, they naturally have a lot of their chakras already open. They're very sensitive to information. They're very sensitive to downloads and messages and all the different things. So it's definitely really, really important to pay attention to downloads that you're receiving that come from literally anywhere. Don't judge. Don't judge where it's coming from. Just receive the messages. So you're not like frustrated about what you're receiving, about the message itself or the messenger. Don't be frustrated by the messenger. Receive the message. Okay. What do we need to know for the collective for this week? Oh my God, y'all. This is y'all. We got hope. Hope. Okay. I trust that God has a wonderful solution and brilliant plans in store for me. And I think that this is one of the keys to moving forward is having hope, not having fear, because we've been navigating through fear like a lot last year. Okay. We can't continue to carry that energy and be productive and, feel like we're okay if we're not hopeful for the future. You need to bring that back. You need to have a very like childlike kind of feel to it where you're just like, you know what, like everything's opening up again. I want to play. I want to go. I want to go out. I want to go see the world. I want to travel. I want like kind of like a kid at the candy store kind of energy. Like have hope. Okay, have hope that everything will be okay. Everything will work out. Everything is in divine timing. Everything is being sorted. Okay, have hope. Make sure you're doing your protection work, but have hope. Okay, have that hope. The next one is signs. Signs. Okay, I watch for and notice and trust the signs that the heavens continuously sends. And this is why I'm saying to watch where the messenger is coming from, because some of these messages are coming from unexpected places and from places and people that you might have not expected to come through and deliver something or be like bold or say something profound. You're gonna find yourself at some point this week being like, okay, I receive. There's gonna be this energy of, okay, this is not the first time I've heard this, or even like deja vu, or even like something just like being said twice within like one day. You hear the same kind of word used or the same sentence used, and you're like, okay, that's the second time. Let me again dig in deeper, because it goes back to what I said earlier. Do more research. You got to dig in deeper. You have to dig in deeper. You have to do the work. You have to pay attention to the signs. You have to pay attention to the signs. Bottom of the deck for that is blessings, by the way. And this is what I'm saying. That Taurus energy is coming. Taurus season is not a season of like bad shit happening. It's Taurus season always ends up being a really fun season for people. Because spring is out, allergies are out too. But for the most part, there's just like a lot of beauty in the world. And it's just shown through everywhere. It's like highlighted. And this is when you have like people blossoming, having like more self-confidence, having just like more self-care, focusing on themselves. So there's a lot of blessings coming and that are on their way, y'all. They're on their way. Okay, especially with what's been happening with Uranus and Taurus, because Uranus has been straight slaying Tauruses since it moved into Taurus. Uranus has been like, okay, y'all a little bit too stubborn. Y'all need to upgrade some things. I need you to think bigger, think wider, think outside of the box. Think bigger for your self-care. Think bigger for who you can be. Think bigger for how you can enjoy things. Think bigger for your money. Don't limit yourself. Don't do things the same way that the past generations have tried to pass down this 9 to 5 bullshit to us. Think bigger. I need you guys to think bigger than that. There's a sense of comfortability when it comes to Taurus energy, because they're very comfortable in what they know. They like what they like, and they like to sit in that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But Uranus is like, okay, but y'all been doing that for a while. And I don't want you to be like your father. I don't want you to be like your mother. I don't want you guys to be like your grandparents. You are supposed to be someone different. You're supposed to be more evolved. You can enjoy your life, but I still want you to enjoy it and be who you're supposed to be. Okay, think higher, think brighter, think bigger for yourself. Do not limit your experience, your potential for joy, for pleasure, for love, for money. Do not limit that. Okay, and so the Taurus energy, when Taurus season comes through, Uranus is gonna be like, hello, I'm also here. It's almost like it's Britney, bitch. It's like, it's Uranus, bitch. Like, I'm also here. What are you gonna do this year? What are your plans? What are you doing with your money? Where's it going? What are you spending it on? Uranus is saying, upgrade your thinking, upgrade your upgrade your limitations, open up your possibilities of what you can do. Okay, it's all about thinking bigger, think higher, think way bigger than you have been before, because it's just, y'all, there's no point in limiting yourself right now. There's just no point. There is just no point. I'm picking a mudra for this week because I feel like you guys are going to need to meditate this week and we need to talk about it. Okay, listen, what mudra should we be using collectively? What mudras should we be using collectively? Okay, we got quite a bit of mudras, y'all. The first one, spiritual union. Spiritual union is our first mudra. Okay, spiritual union is our first mudra for this week. So you can incorporate this into your meditations. For those on TikTok, because I know TikTok doesn't have a replay of the lives, you guys can go on my YouTube or my Instagram to watch the replay of the lives. And it says, in the circle of wholeness of my true being, I experience the essence of freedom and unity. Spiritual union, y'all. What? Clarifying currents of energy is the next one. Clarifying currents of energy is the next one. If you would like to get any of the decks, okay, that I used today, they're in the description box, because I know you guys ask me sometimes and I want to make sure you guys know the info. Attuned to the uppermost current of energy, my senses open to all of life's beauty. What did I say about Taurus energy creeping in? Listen, I said what I said. Now, optimal circulation. Releasing into the stream of serenity, I experience complete inner nourishment and healing. Y'all, you gotta let it flow. You gotta go with the flow. You cannot sit on the flow. You cannot. This is not the time. This is not the time to do that. Centering, okay? Centering, y'all. Centering. This is what it looks like. Centering. Make sure you're incorporating this into your meditations. With a deeper sense of centering, I experience perfect equanimity. Centering. And this is what I mean. I feel like this week it calls for us to be like in an understanding with ourselves, where we know, okay, this is how we're moving. This is the intentions that we have for the rest of the year. This is some of the goals we're working on. You can set intentions for other things in other seasons, yes, but you should be very much reevaluating a lot of the things that you need to sort out, period. You need to reevaluate those things. You need to, like, especially if you're looking at it through your natal chart and your transits, which house is each season triggering and what are you doing about it? What are you doing about that? How are you using each house? How are you working with each house to see productive change within your life? Period. What planetary energies will be affecting us this week? Y'all. Mars. And we got Aquarius as well. Mars and Aquarius. Make sure you're checking your transits, how Jupiter and Saturn Aquarius are hitting, and also how Mars is transiting in your chart, so you're not getting lost in the source. Okay, you're not getting lost in the source. Mars and Aquarius are planetary energies for this week. So make sure that you guys are looking at your transit so you're not getting caught up. And this is why I said earlier, Mars and Gemini, straight losing it. Straight losing the thing. I'm gonna read some of the comments, y'all, because y'all was posting a lot and I gotta read some of the comments. Hello, Instagram. Hello, Tarot by Candy. Hello. Thank you for all the love. Oh, Aquarius rising. Oh, that's actually not bad. That just means that you gotta show up this year. You gotta straight show up this year. Like having Jupiter in your first house is like, you have to show up in the world. You can't just be hidden away. You got to be out in the world. You have to be like, here I am, y'all. This is what I do. This is what I'm doing. This is why you need to pay attention to me. And I said what I said. That is literally like the energy of having Jupiter in your first house. So it's definitely powerful. Okay. Hello, Denise. How are you? All the love. Hey, Lana. How are you? my Sag Saturn Taurus moon is heavily struggling last year. 100%. And listen, Sagittarius's for the like I feel like Sagittarius is the most because Sagittarius love to travel. They love to go around the world. And to tell a Sagittarius you can't leave, you can't go anywhere. Sagittarius and Gemini were having like the worst time. The worst time. It was hard. Denise said, gosh, I needed to hear this. I've been so anxious, a bit, and depressed because of last year. Not working hasn't helped. Thank you for the confirmation and encouragement. 100%. 100%. I need to pray after this. Y'all need to make sure that y'all on your prayer game. I say it like every live. My goodness, I needed to hear. We didn't do anything wrong besides the officials. My God, yesterday's moon is still making me release guilt and face my emotions. Yeah, 1000%. Because we have to be balanced with our own energy, with our own like what role we played. If we played the role that we needed to play and we did the thing, we followed the what the guidance was, because at the end of the day it's about following the guidance, what is being communicated as well. And they weren't on the same page about the guidance. They were all over the place. They weren't obviously the direction, and as far as trying to resolve the issue, trying to keep the number of debts down, all of those type of things. Like, we had the highest amount of debts in any country in the world, and it was because of lack of leadership. 1000%. And it's important to remember that. It's important to remember that that's not our fault. We didn't do that. We did not choose to have those lives lost. We did not choose for that kind of negativity, that pain to go through, like all of those families and people who lost people. Like, I lost people in my family as well. And we didn't choose that. We didn't make that decision. So it's not our fault. We can't carry that. We cannot carry that. 1000%. Sometimes you gotta send that energy where it's supposed to go. You can't be like, oh, I'm gonna keep this, I'm gonna carry it. No, you gotta send it away. It's like, oh, this is not me. This was not me. Like, recognize when something is not you and release it. If something is not you, you have no responsibility to carry the guilt from that as well. Hello, how are you? The tension is boiling over. 1000%. 1000%. Archangel Metatron keeps popping up for me. 1000 definitely popped up for me. Has been popping up for me very, very recently. Such a powerful archangel to work with. I could do a whole other like video on just listen. We'll talk about it. We're gonna talk. I feel like I need to do a whole archangel series on the channel as well. I'd be starting series like left and right. Have y'all noticed this? I have like a series for like every pinky, like every finger at this point. But I just feel like every time we do the weekly healing circles, you guys like be giving me ideas and downloads like, oh, this would be something good to talk about. This is something that the people might need to know about. So we might need to do a whole archangel series on the channel. Teamwork definitely makes the dream work, y'all. 1000%. Venus and Air Squad. Yo, my fiance, her Venus is a Gemini, so y'all already know. Hi, I'm a Virgo sun, Sag moon, and Virgo rising, Libra, and Mercury and Scorpio. Vegan. Ooh, shit, that's a lot of Virgo gang, y'all. I love my Virgos. I feel like my Virgos are such powerful people, but y'all just need to make sure that y'all are your healing game, okay, is on point. The thing about being like looking at your astrology, like looking at your birth chart energy, is that you have to look at all of the powers and abilities for each sign that you have, and you have to use that to the fullest potential. You have to recognize when you're using it incorrectly, and you have to recognize when you are overusing it or when you can be using it in a better way, in the way that it's coming up in your life. Because it's all about self-analyzation when it comes to looking at your chart, and understanding yourself. It's about saying, okay, you know what, I was a little bit harsh there, I shouldn't have spoken that way because my Mercury is in XYZ. Like sometimes it can be something that it manifests through us it can manifest in a toxic way, it can manifest in a positive way, and we need to be able to recognize how the energy is coming through. Oh my God, you should start an archangel series. Do y'all want to see an archangel series? Do y'all want to see an Archangel series? Because I feel like we're going to do the thing. Oh, yes, sis. That's why I feel like you're talking to me. LOL. Mars is in Gemini. y'all know my moon is in Gemini, so I just be straight. It'd be straight channeling out here. Scorpio sun, double Aquarius. Oh, wow. Oof. Oof, y'all. That's a oof. That is definitely a oof, because I feel like having like an Aquarius moon and then being an Aquarius rising, but being a Scorpio sun, like I need to know what your Venus is to see how you relate relationship wise, because I feel like that would be the placement, that the energy where you come off to others like you're a little bit more detached, or like you're like in your head a lot and you're not really speaking, like you're being like a little bit like mysterious, like kind of vibe. So it'll be one of those like, what are they really thinking? Like making people go crazy placements. That's what that reads like. Like straight up, that is what that reads like. Oh my God, yes, please. I would love an Archangel series. By the way, the story time series first episode was insightful. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for taking initiative. You're an inspiration. Y'all, you know I'll be working out here. Yeah, I'd be straight. I get downloads and I'm just like, okay, let's go. Let's just like my meditations in the morning. Like this morning, I woke up and then Spirit was like, talk about flexibility. And I was just like, okay, pulled out the phone and I recorded the podcast. It just, the downloads, y'all, I just listen at this point. I take it and I'm like, okay, let's communicate it. Let's talk about it. How can I bring this to the people? How can I communicate this? What is the best format? Let's do it. And then once I figure that out, let's do it. Let's do the thing. So 1000%, there's going to be a lot of series on the channel, but this is why I feel like my channel is never going to be one thing. Never expect my TikTok, my Instagram, any of the platforms. It's never going to be one thing, because I am a lot of different things. I love a lot of different things, and you guys will get different sides of me. And this is why we have like Goddess Hour. This is why we have like the Orisha Storytime series, which is so much fun. Honestly, that's just one of my favorite series that I've started so far. Like I feel like that one is just very educational, and I love my Mars is in Sag, so I love to like educate and like help you guys understand different things. So I'm just gonna keep doing the work. I'm gonna keep doing it, and then we're just gonna do the thing together. That's it. That's where it's gonna go. First house sun, fourth house moon, second house Mercury, third house Venus, and first house Mars. Wait, first house sun. So your Virgo is in your first house. Your moon, your fourth house moon. Oh, your moon is in your fourth house. Yeah, your Mercury in third house, and then there's Mercury. So that is in your third. Okay. Oh, damn. Okay. Well, Mercury and Scorpio, first of all, is one of my favorite placements when it comes to people, because I feel like Mercury and Scorpio, y'all, they will read you to the filth. They're intuitive as fuck. Like Mercury and Scorpio, y'all, you have to understand. And this is one of the things that I always know when I'm doing someone's like birth chart, and I'm like, you know, they like booked a reading with me and I'm doing a birth chart and they have a Mercury and Scorpio. I'd be like, listen, so you're gonna know things before you know things. Like it's about the conscious mind meeting the unconscious mind and knowing stuff. It's just like, you know the truth, you know the intentions, you know the vibe, you know what's going on. Like there's just this deeper diving into knowledge. Like it's just one of my absolute favorite placements to see in people. So y'all, it's just amazing. Oh, I got some on TikTok. Hold on. Scorpio rising, Taurus sun, Sag moon. Oh, well, you must definitely be very beautiful. Anytime somebody is a Scorpio rising, y'all, they be like the mysterious, almost like vampire vibes. Like I'm talking about underworlds like vibes, like beautiful, but in like a I will bite you though kind of way. So, and I live for that placement. Scorpio risings are some of the most beautiful people, just because of how, you know, they have that essence, that mystery about them. So that's really, really beautiful. Sun and Taurus, love Tauruses as general. Like that's one of my sister signs, y'all have to understand, I'm a Capricorn, so I vibe with all earth signs. You a Virgo, you a Taurus, we right here, y'all, because we're sisters, we're brothers. Like, it's just, y'all my family. We understand each other, okay? We know what we about because we're earth signs. So I live. And Sag Moon, that's powerful. That's just powerful for the knowledge, y'all. That is powerful for the knowledge. Sun in Aquarius, Gemini Moon. Oh my God, another Gemini Moon and a Libra rising. Ooh, that is beautiful. I'm also a Gemini Moon. Hello. Y'all know I'm a Gemini Moon by now. Y'all know with the way I talk, like, how long has been the live? 1 hour and 34 minutes, y'all. Y'all know my ass is a Gemini Moon. I could talk for days. It's like, it bees what it bees. And I also have my Gemini Moon sits in my 11th house. So it just, basically, it just goes hand in hand. Like, I need to communicate with y'all. That's what it is. That's what it goes. I have Mercury and Sag. That's also one of my favorite placements. Mercury and Sag is super studious. Like, they know more than you will know because they know, because they looked into it and they found out that you was lying about it because they know. So it's a very powerful placement as well. Venus in Scorpio, you got the Cardi B placement. That's what I always call it because I find her chart so fascinating. Let me know if y'all want me to do a whole Cardi B astrology breakdown because I actually really enjoy her chart and the way that she uses her energy. It just makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh because every time everybody's always like, oh my God, but so much focus on, sexuality and all this stuff. And I'm like, her Venus is in Scorpio. You expect her not to do that? Like, what? It just makes no sense. It straight up makes no sense when people say this. I'm literally like chuckling, like, but her Venus is in Scorpio. She loves that shit. You can't take it away from her. She's never going to understand anything other than that because she loves that. She loves being sensual, being sexual, like, she just loves that shit. So it's definitely interesting. Venus in Scorpio is so tense and jealous as fuck. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's not 100%. But they're very powerful people. They definitely love hard. If you can't handle a Venus and Scorpio relationship, then you can't handle a deep, soul quenching, shattering relationship. That's just how it goes. That's how it goes. So y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up because we've been talking for like a really long time. But before I go, updates. So on Wednesday, we're going to have our weekly community oracle poll. So for those who are who want to come to that, that will be on Wednesday. Patrons, the updates will be coming tonight, so you guys will have the updates for the Book of Shadows, as well as the weekly messages from the Akashic Records as well. All of those updates will be up tonight, and the vote for the weekly video poll, so for both channel members and Patreon members as well. So stay tuned for that. For those who guys are not following me on YouTube and on Instagram, make sure you guys are following me on all the things. And I will see you loves in the next one. I had so much fun. Thank you for all the love. I really appreciate y'all. And yeah, have a good night, y'all. Mwah. Bye. Bye, loves. Bye, y'all. Ooh, bye, y'all.